There is no racism here in the World Wrestling Federation. We don't allow it, won't allow it under any circumstances. And that's the bottom line. What's good in the hood?
Just holding it down, trying to take care of business.
Keep it up, I'm a nigga.
Now everybody knows the Grand Wizard there, Bret Hart, is racist to the core.
Today is January 31st, 2016, and you're listening to the Politically Incorrect Wrestling Show. My name is Joe Chapman, taking helm of the captainship here, along with Paul Michael Holschult, who decided to jump in. But it's all right. And we have a special guest today, since Ed is on his Florida vacation. We have Adam here.
Howdy.
So I guess we'll go ahead and just kind of jump right into things here. So we'll start off with a little bit of wrestling news. Probably the biggest news outside of AJ Styles at the Rumble, which everybody's known about. The second biggest piece from the whole signings rumors, so to speak, is that Shinsuke Nakamura has officially signed. We know for sure, and we know that he officially will be debuting in Dallas for the show before WrestleMania, I believe.
And which a cool thing, what this means for people that go to NXT, it's not recorded shows, we'll probably get to see him in action. As I'd imagine, they're going to be putting him, off camera, getting him ready for WrestleMania. And they're not just going to throw him first match, I'd imagine. So probably a slim chance you could probably see Nakamura wrestle in March leading up to WrestleMania, I would think.
It's possible. Yes.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Oh, yes, by all means.
Who the fuck is Nakamura?
Okay, so basically, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Shinsuke Nakamura is the king of strong style.
Yes.
At least
strong
he was
style.
now. Yes, and strong style is basically stiff as fuck wrestling.
Yes.
Oh,
So
shit.
in the stiff as fuck wrestling, this guy likes to just throw knees on you. So think Tony Jaa and the Protector on Bach.
Oh, shit, when he's got like the elephant bones?
Yeah. If you took that fighting style and mixed it into a guy that looks like the dude from Old Boy, but with a Shawn Michaels gimmick.
I'm thinking Masaru Morimoto. I understand Japanese, but with elephant bones.
Okay, well, that could work.
Okay.
But yeah, this guy basically looks like a dude from Old Boy, but with a Shawn Michaels type gimmick.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe pepper in some Michael Jackson in there. And that's what this guy
There's
is.
some Michael Jackson there.
But good wrestler.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we get angry tweets at our Twitter account, PIW Show, Adam doesn't watch wrestling like we do. He's kind of been out of the game for a long time, so if he does say, like, who the fuck is that guy, don't fucking angry be like, how can you guys fucking know about it? He's new. We brought him in because, hey, you know what? He's here, and we figured it'd be fun to have a different fucking style opinion. So
yeah, exactly.
Quit busting balls.
And there might be some of you that listen to this that aren't familiar with the whole product outside of the WWE.
Exactly. So, in addition to that Dallas Takeover card, it was reported that they've pretty much got that lineup ready to go. So the main event for that will be Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, which will be a hell of a match.
And it's also interesting too to note, not to cut you off, but they're going to keep Finn Balor face of NXT.
Right.
From what I hear, maybe Samoa Joe might be moving up sometime after WrestleMania into main roster spot.
It's possible. My assumption would be it depends on if they're going to do the whole Balor Club thing, and when they're going to bring in the other two guys from New Japan, like when they're going to bring them in and how they're going to do that, and then eventually are they going to move the whole stable up? It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's going to be early to tell, but we'll see.
I'm starting to feel too that if they do that I feel like AJ Styles won't be a part of it. Just because I feel like AJ is his own thing on his own, and they've already obviously brought him into the main picture fold.
Right.
And he's huge now.
Right.
Speaking of how WWE talks about how nobody knows who AJ Styles is, iTunes just recently said that he is the 78th out of 100 most downloaded song on iTunes. So obviously there's people out there who know who AJ Styles is.
Exactly.
If you don't watch WWE or do watch WWE, you know AJ Styles.
The casual wrestling fan knows who he is. So
take that, WWE.
Exactly. Then the second one to that, now of course I don't know what order this is in. I'm assuming it's all in the correct order, but be Nakamura and Sami Zayn, which I think will be a hell of a match.
It's a pretty interesting matchup.
Austin Aries and Baron Corbin. But this will be interesting to see because Baron Corbin, I know that we've discussed him at length of he could be good, but will he be good enough by that time, and kind of where he's at.
He's not a bad wrestler from what I've seen, but I definitely lean more towards the guys like versatility, like an Austin Aries, or I'd like to see like Austin Aries go against Sami Zayn eventually before they move him up. I think that would be a good one.
Right.
Aries and Nakamura, I think, could be pretty good too. Maybe they'll get a match in while both of those guys are in NXT, depending on who they do want to move up to the main roster.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that match will play out. I mean, obviously they'll have time to work together, so I guess we'll find out. The women's match rumored to be will be Bayley as women's champ versus Asuka. That one I doubt. I feel that's more rumor just because there's so much talent and so many heels in the NXT talent pool that while Asuka's great, I don't think she necessarily is at that level compared to maybe somebody else.
I think what the thing with that, and I wanted to add too, that WWE just did an interview with Bayley talking about how she's ready to move up to the main roster, like it's her goal and everything.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately they are aiming to push her maybe sooner than later to the main roster. Not that they need to, but I'm not really sure what's going on with the Divas division. But I think maybe them doing that would be getting ready to give Asuka the title. And obviously Asuka has a huge draw with the NXT crowd. So maybe that's what they're trying to do to put the belt on her, give her maybe even more of a draw. And maybe they can step off Bayley having the title to push her into that main roster fold come after WrestleMania. I think we're going to see, I'm going to take a guess and say at least maybe like 4 people I think will make a jump. Maybe even 5 by the time WrestleMania ends going into SummerSlam Survivor Series.
Right. I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. There's just a lot of talent as far as the women's division in NXT. It's kind of hard to say who's going to go up and who's going to stay. I mean, Bayley will eventually go. I just don't think after WrestleMania, I don't see the point. But, I mean, who's to say that she's not ready. But I guess we'll see. NXT Tag Champions, Dash and Dawson, will go against Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. This will be a hell of a match.
Yes.
I probably one I'm looking forward to. Actually, there's all of these.
They call them the American Alphas now.
Yeah, the American Alphas. Yeah,
I'm a fan of the American Alphas. I dig them. I think they were fun even before they kind of started getting big.
Yeah.
They looked interesting. Dudes can definitely wrestle and go.
Right.
But yeah. And I also like Enzo and Big Cass too. So I'd like to see them get some more, time in, unless they end up moving them, which would be phenomenal.
I think at this point, I don't know what else. If they're not going to give them the titles, we'll just move on up because the main roster's tag teams
are bad.
They're horrible.
Very lacking. Like the Dudleys are kind of getting old, and they're just having them kind of job for the most part. It seems anymore, and it's just like what they did with the Ascension. They came off strong, and it's like they job. And really, the only things they have right now are New Day. Yeah, they came back.
Yes, they came back.
I was like, holy shit.
But they've pretty much been wrestling the whole time. They were in TNA or Impact, and they came back a few months ago.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, Belba, what was it?
Is it
was
just
it last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spike's no longer a wrestler.
Oh.
But yeah, Bubba came in.
Back in the day.
Yeah, right. Spike was cool. Bubba came in last year's Rumble as a surprise entrant.
Right.
And then
on his own.
Right. And then obviously not long after that, be right before the new year, we got it was October, November.
Something like
when we got the Dudleys back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fall, and so they've been around for a few months,
Yeah.
But yeah, the tag team definitely lacking. I mean, I think it's kind of a fresh idea to put Goldust and Ron Truth together for a tag team.
Right.
I'm sorry. You just said Goldust?
Yes, Goldust.
We did say Goldust.
Yes, he's still around.
And that's a funny thing too is I consider Goldust to kind of be in his prime right now. I mean, I've watched Goldust since the Attitude Era. I've seen some of his early work in WCW.
I remember when he first came out. Yeah.
I feel like Goldust maybe even
Holy
brings more to the
shit.
table now than he did then. No, you really have to watch him. I mean, it's. I know it's hard for you to kind of picture because you haven't
sorry.
ever seen it, but
I'm
no,
sorry.
the man can go.
He can go. for
He
as
will
old as
die in the ring.
He might.
Yeah,
He might.
wrestling's.
I just see. I am kind of liking the Goldust and Ron the Truth killings. I'm seeing Goldust Booker T version 2.
Yes, exactly. And I
Because
think
that shit was fucking hilarious.
I think they're maybe starting to get like some of the crazy zany things work well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they got Ron, R-Truth's little segment for the Rumble where he came in, thought he was in the Money in the Bank match,
Right.
and that was funny for a sec. So to kind of throw those gimmicks in, and keep them a tag team to kind of keep them on TV,
Right.
I think will work. Because all that they really have right now is just the Usos and the New Day, and they're already. It might not come off that way, but they're exhausting the New Day. I mean, I think they're
Right.
just on TV way too much, and I mean, I love the New Day, but I think they're just
bit of
gonna.
them online.
They're just
Yeah.
gonna. I don't want them to kill them because I like them, but I just don't want them main focus all the time. Let me see New Day like once every other week or something, so that way it kind of keeps it.
Or just
Fresh, so they
keep
can
their
get
segments short.
Exactly.
I get that they're the tag champs, and they have to be on TV, but keep it short. Like they don't need a 10-minute fucking segment of them talking, and half the time it's just ridiculous. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I feel like I don't know.
So-
The WWE definitely needs to work as far as the product goes for Raw and SmackDown. Definitely need to work on their tag team division.
Yeah.
They need better teams that actually work together, and don't be quick to split those teams up either.
Right.
And a lot of which this is probably what seems like with Ron Truth and Goldust. Just taking two random guys and them together because we can't think of anything else. I mean, I think it'll work for those guys because of how they are. But
and it's worked in the past.
But
really. I mean,
hopefully, like with Enzo and Cass, like if they bring those guys in,
Right.
hopefully they can be like an established team for a while.
Right.
Depending on whoever else moves up, or just stay with it. Like keep the teams around.
right.
Don't be quick to split them.
I'm with you on that. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and move on to another. Or actually, there was one more match, but it's Apollo Crews and the Drifter, Elias Sampson.
Oh,
I hate the goddamn
don't
Drifter.
make me start on the Drifter. I loathe the Drifter. I think he's horrible. I think he brings nothing to the product, and just as a wrestler, I just watched his match on NXT. The guy did like a headlock and a slam, and maybe like a couple knee strikes,
Right.
and that was it. And they're playing him off like he's some big tour de force. Just pisses me off.
Yeah,
He's boring.
He's boring
The
as
chicks
fuck.
get all wet when he takes his shirt off. That's about the only fucking draw this guy has.
Pretty much.
It's just, his gimmick's stupid. It's just like Corey Graves pointed out, like, oh, you're wearing a fucking scarf, and it's summer.
right. Exactly. So.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Oh, I've never been a fan of him. I can't
I can't stand the dude.
I mean, maybe
It's a waste of.
if he had a different gimmick, I'd just be like, there he is. But he's probably the worst. I hate him. He's the worst thing to happen to NXT, and I don't know how long.
I was gonna fucking gimmick that guy based on his wrestling. I would throw some fucking animal robes on him and just fucking call him Samson. And it could be like the fucking Samson from the Bible or something.
Exactly.
Just fucking working him that way.
was that? There you
go.
Or Hercules.
Like
I
some
don't
shit
know.
with lions or something?
Yeah,
Samson,
something.
yeah.
Because the fucking
No,
Drifter
Samson was the
didn't-
hair guy, right?
Yeah, he had the long hair, and
Yeah.
Delilah cut it, and then it grew
then
back
he-
long enough to where he got his strength back.
There
It
we
was
go.
by
I'm
Hebrew
sorry,
man,
WWE.
so-
This gimmick doesn't work.
I know the whole story. Yeah.
The Drifter doesn't work for this day and
The
age.
Drift is not. The
The
Drifter
guy
is-
obviously has money. It's on his fucking guitar.
Exactly.
There's such things nowadays called Uber. So
Right.
this guy's not gonna fucking take a train,
Right.
hopping all along to your fucking NXT spots because you guys stay in Florida.
Right.
So what's he do? Fucking live on the train? Well, no. His fucking express scarf or whatever shows that he's got a little bit more style than that.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure he at least has an apartment where he's well taken care of. So no, this guy don't fucking jump on trains.
No,
That's
he
just
doesn't.
Some fucking weirdo guy hanging out in a fucking train yard. He's got no friends, which I would totally understand.
I would much rather have a hobo gimmick.
Oh, shit.
Why can't we have a hobo wrestling gimmick?
Has there been a hobo wrestler ever?
Not that I ever. Not in the big time.
That
at
would be
least.
fucking amazing.
Like, they
almost
should
like
have a
it's-
wrestling hobo. I mean,
When you think Drifter, you almost think that's what
That's
you
what it
want him
sounds
to
like,
be.
yeah.
But no, this guy
As
doesn't
an
wear like tatted
uninitiated, you
clothes.
say Drifter to me, I'm thinking, yeah, fucking hobo.
He's like well groomed.
Right.
He's got like hipster beard guy.
That's not
going
Drifter,
on.
that's like
I don't know, he's
douchebag.
burly.
yeah, exactly. That's pretty much this guy.
He looks like this guy like that, like a cast member that walked off the Game of Thrones with a guitar and a fucking fancy scarf. I don't
Right.
know.
Shit.
Exactly. He's a goddamn mess. I mean, I don't fucking like him. I don't think anybody likes him. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. So I guess this past Monday night, some people were not happy with The Rock's promo.
I
So-
wasn't happy. I'll be honest. This is my opinion.
Right.
I
Well,
found it rough to watch. I fast forwarded through half of it.
Right. Well, according to the sources in the WWE, there was a group of fans that were dressed as Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and The Undertaker at Monday Night Raw. During the show, the man dressed as Savage kept doing various Macho Man mannerisms,
Oh, shit.
which is why the fans were chanting Randy Savage.
Oh, no.
Now, however, during the show, the fans were moved due to the fact they were visible on TV. But when The Rock came out and did his promo, the crowd again was chanting for the fans that were dressed as these guys. And The Rock, he actually said it on air. He's like, we're going to go off the script, and goes up and talks to these guys.
Oh, shit.
And it probably didn't help much that he said, man, the weed must be good here in Miami. That probably didn't help.
man.
You know?
For
So-
a PG product, that
Oh, yeah.
definitely did not.
No.
I just imagine, because I watched this part
wow.
through the fast forward, and
Yeah.
it was the other stuff backstage with like Lon and everything. I caught some of it, and I rewatched it a little bit because of everybody bitching. But it was rough to watch. It was very like forced Rock. I don't know. It was just like, let me pull something out of my ass and be a cocky bastard.
Is he
Right.
recently returned to wrestling, or has he been back for a while now?
He comes back like just to get a paycheck.
Yeah, like in
Yeah,
between
and-
movies or some shit.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, can you make an appearance here because, you know, you're big.
Yeah.
You're basically
Like,
big.
I'll have
in
a
the
movie,
sta-
okay.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Now these fans that were dressed, I'm assuming like the most recent versions of said superstars they were dressed
well, no,
as,
like,
or like old school
Randy
classic.
the old
Savage,
school
Randy
classic. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
That's
It's the
amazing.
old school Undertaker with the purple. I
And
saw
Randy
purple,
Savage
like,
with like all the fucking
Hulkamania,
tassels and shit.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Like snapping to a Slim Jim.
Yeah, with the
Randy Savage.
glasses and Hulk Hogan.
yeah, I
with
think
the
even was
Hulkamania,
had
yeah.
fucking Slim Jims in his hand, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. I could be wrong, but you know, he had this fucking thing.
The Rock segment was rough though.
I didn't mind it
Snap
that
into a
much.
tree.
I mean, compared to every other segment they've had on Raw, I'm like, this actually isn't so bad. you
It
know?
made me just miss like how Rock was when he would like actually take time with, you know, like,
When
what
he
he
was a
was gonna
wrestler?
say. Yeah, like I mean, when he would cut his like heel promos and stuff.
So
And
when he
even
was a
some-
wrestler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he- versus like coming in. Yeah, exactly.
Coming in for a paycheck, because you know why he's there. He's there to collect a check.
Yeah,
go home.
get that paycheck. Just say something real
Which-
quick, and you can't
Right.
blame the man. I mean, you know,
Maintain
fuck it.
the product of The Rock
Yeah.
Right.
versus whatever the fuck his real name is, being an actor. Yeah.
Like I'd imagine that was a big hefty
Dwayne, yeah,
paycheck.
Dwayne Johnson.
Him
Yeah.
just showing up for like what, half an hour, not even that.
Right.
Shake some hands, talk backstage, leave.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so I mean that was kind of the big thing.
And I want to give props to New Day for at least, because this has been twice now. Chris Jericho, you dropped some things that should have been said on PG TV.
Right.
And in Rock, you did it too. And New Day, both times when they've come out during these segments, remind both these fuckers, hey, this you can't say that as a PG product.
Oh no.
Now the only thing that I thought was fucking hilarious.
Oh
was when-
shit. Sorry. That's the guys with the trombone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The only thing I did find hilarious was when The Rock said, "I'm surprised you guys are so entertaining with like goat penises on your head
Yeah.
or some shit."
What?
And they just kept going. They can't say goat penis. Can we say goat? And they kept going back and forth saying goat
was-
penises. We can't say goat penises on TV. I'm fucking dying with that. I don't know why that
Oh
was
my
so
God.
funny, but it
It
was
was chuckle
just
a little bit, yeah.
you know. But it wasn't a bad segment. I know some of the shit he was saying. It's like nobody else could get a fucking way with that.
But The Rock.
I mean,
But The Rock, right?
I do give The Rock props.
Because what's
going
to happen? Oh, they're gonna fire him, and he's not gonna be a superstar
Good old
anymore.
Dwayne.
And
Yeah.
I did like
He's
that.
not
it was
Hulk Hogan,
fresh.
for Christ's sake. He
You know,
got
he
nothing.
just said whatever.
You know?
He went off script, and that
Does
is
he
cool.
come back anymore?
No, Hulk Hogan pretty much. A
He's,
video was released of him kind of saying, the N words and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah,
And,
that's kind of a career
He's
killer.
got a lawsuit out right now on Gawker.
yeah. So, and he pretty much is. They threw him under the bus. Like, yeah, we can't have this, even though no one really gave a shit.
They gave
But
him
they-
just a step slightly above the Benoit treatment.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like
Hey,
not
oh.
talked
Oh.
about
Oh man, Benoit.
It's like, well, yeah. If you look through Network, you can watch Hulk Hogan, but we're not going to mention Hulk Hogan.
No, his son should have tapped.
Yeah, he should. He probably both of them. He'd probably
He'd be alive today had he tapped.
Exactly. So
For the sake of argument, there wasn't a referee during it.
Very good point. Very good point.
Non-sanctioned match.
it was a non-sanctioned match. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So,
And he was on the rope too, so it should have looked over anyway.
He was on the rope.
right. So you got to break the holds. Oh my god.
Falls count anywhere, man.
Falls count. Right. Anyways, a little bit more WWE news. I can't dig us out of that one. Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus are both out with injuries.
Injuries strike again. I'm just waiting for Roman Reigns and AJ Styles to get injured, and then they're just fucked.
Yeah, because I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I mean, I guess they got in that scenario. They'd have Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens.
You can bullshit a plan for Reigns almost. You'd almost want that to happen just because I think it would help build him up to where he's just more likable. Just take him off camera for a while and bring him back.
Exactly.
And people be like, oh, okay, we like Roman Reigns again.
Yep.
Instead of just keep forcing him down our throats.
Right.
But
Because you forget about him and he comes like, oh shit, he's back.
Because AJ Styles you can easily throw into the main match. But that would suck. That'd be like, oh, you want some really good candy? Oh, we're taking it away from you now.
Pretty much. But
If AJ got hurt.
yeah, the only thing we don't know about it is we don't know how long they'll be out, how, we know they're legit injuries, but we don't know anything outside of that. We don't know, like, if they're going to be out 6 months, a week, who the fuck knows. Nobody knows shit. But, yeah, it sucks that you have two kind of top-tier guys that are out, so.
You answered my question if it was legitimate injuries or if there's, like, a scripted injury.
No, they're legit. Yeah.
Del Rio is still scheduled to work.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Even though injured?
Yeah,
so like just some FaceTime on camera kind of...
Right.
Right.
They'll probably limit some of his matches kind of based on how he goes as far as these couple go. But for now, he's still, in ring till they decide to, if it's serious.
Well, what kind of injury are you talking
Some
about?
kind of lower back. They say it was from Royal Rumble.
He took a
suplex from Lesnar.
Yeah, and he got just injured his
Lesnar?
back.
Yes, Lesnar. Yeah.
God, man, revelation after revelation here.
Lesnar's been back since before Rumble. He's been back for a while. I mean, since WrestleMania, like way before then. He wrestled Taker. He's kind of like
he's the one that broke the Undertaker streak.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay.
So that was the big thing.
I remember hearing about that. I didn't hear who it was, but
yeah,
he's part.
I remember that was a big.
He comes in for like the big shit.
So
they've given the title, off camera and
right. So, but so that's with that.
So now we're out. Let's just do a tally real quick. So we're out of Seth Rollins.
Yep.
We're out Randy Orton.
Yep.
We're out Cesaro.
Yep.
We're out King Barrett for now, but he's still technically kind of there.
Right.
Sasha Banks is okay apparently.
Yep. So
we got 4 people there. If Del Rio's hurt, that's 5. And did you say Sheamus is hurt?
Sheamus. Yep. That's 6. But he might not be. It says it looks like tendonitis. So they're not expecting him out.
Tendonitis?
They're not expecting him out
fuck?
too long, but they haven't determined if he can get back in the ring and take a bump.
Tendonitis. So he can't run, but he can.
Well, it's in his arm, I guess.
We can't forget the other big name that
okay.
they're out,
I didn't really get tendonitis in the arm, but I guess you can. So,
I knew that was a running injury.
At least we forget John Cena.
So there's 7.
Yeah. So 7, possibly 8, right, guys?
Yes. Tyson Kidd, I guess that's 8, if you count him.
And these
along
are
with
main
Cesaro
roster.
Because these are
main roster.
Yeah. So they've
they've been kind of like trying to move some people up. And that's why they were quick to sign some AJ Styles over. Like we need some talent fast because we just lost like Seth Rollins.
And these are all legitimate injuries?
Yeah, like Seth Rollins fucked his kneecap up like real bad.
Right.
Yeah. So he's getting knee replacement shit.
So yeah, pretty much the guys we named are going to be out for like a while. So none of them are like, oh, we'll be back next week. I mean, they're out there for a while. So, all right. Well, I guess we have some Ring of Honor news. Ring of Honor re-signed 3 of its top stars, which would be Ring of Honor champion Jay Lethal, and then the Red Dragons, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. They've signed new contracts with the organization. The new deals would be similar to their old deals, where Ring of Honor will have exclusivity on the wrestlers in North America. However, they are free to take overseas booking. The lone exception to the statesides is doing PWG shows, which is not on the West Coast, I think.
So they can wrestle in Japan if they want.
So yes, so they can wrestle in Japan, which they
Make that extra money.
Yes, they make pretty good fucking money going to Japan. So
Like AJ Styles was making some good fucking bank when he was doing Japan, and he was doing Ring of Honor on the side. So he was doing both those promotions, bringing it in. So WWE had to be like, here's this big ass paycheck. Come on.
To pull them away from all that. Yeah.
right, and travel more because I mean. I'm assuming in Japan you're probably not traveling as much. I mean, I don't know.
As long as you're staying in Japan, if you're going back and forth from the States to Japan,
right.
that's pretty bad, yeah.
Right. Well, I don't think he's doing that.
That's
I mean,
like an 8-hour flight.
right.
One
I
way.
mean, generally they'll stay there, but I mean, as far as like, like show to show, like I don't know
No,
how
like
many.
do a stint and then.
Yeah,
and then
like
come back.
I mean,
Okay.
like if you're in the WWE, you got Monday Night Raw, then you got SmackDown, then you got house shows,
And that's all over this country.
so you're working 364 days of the fucking year. Where in Japan,
all over the damn country.
yeah, all over the place, and then in Europe sometimes. So where in Japan, you might work 4 times a month. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and even
I don't know
even if
Japanese
it's all
wrestling that
even
well.
if it's all over the country in Japan, it's still
Yeah, it takes
maybe
like
like
a train or some
maybe
shit.
like
I
a
don't
2-hour
know.
flight.
Yeah.
Maybe from island to island. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
you're fine.
So, or hire some car services.
I mean, there are separate islands.
So,
We know if TNA would have just stepped up and
go from
gave
Tokyo
Mr.
to-
Styles that money.
right.
That's all he wanted, but
Exactly.
way to fail.
TNA, yeah, TNA is a huge fail.
Speaking of TNA,
Speaking of TNA,
Oh, shit.
we did try to watch TNA. How far did we get into TNA to this week?
well, we might have overlooked a couple things through our watching. We watched the most recent episode to Hip Hop TV,
Correct.
which showed Matt Hardy cutting a promo. Well, having a ring promo with Jeff Hardy.
Right.
And Jeff talking about how Matt called him. He said he was overshadowed now.
Right.
That he's just the other Hardy.
Yep.
Jeff is,
Yes.
which was kind of funny. It was
Right.
nice to see Matt Hardy being the kind of focus attention. I also like Matt better as a heel.
Yes.
We also mentioned how Matt's done pretty good for himself.
Yes, in the lady department. If you've seen his wife.
And then we wanted to bring up
Was one
We
of
wanna
the
bring
babysitter Tyrus.
Tyrus. Yes, Tyrus is now officially the nanny at the Hardy household. And yeah, he walks out to the ring with his fucking baby in hand, which is odd. I've never
very
seen
odd.
that in wrestling before. If they bring out babies, it's always a fucking fake one, and you never see. But this one's like a real live baby.
And
Like-
this has been the third time now that I've seen Matt Hardy come out with family.
with a live baby.
Yeah,
With
and
a
so
live
I don't-
baby, right.
I don't know why they feel like they gotta have the baby, and I mean, I get, they think that it has something to do with the viewership. I don't know.
I have no clue.
I believe I saw a portion of that with you guys. Which
Yes.
was the one putting on the seizure face paint?
That was
That was
Jeff
Jeff
Hardy.
Hardy.
Okay.
Seizure face paint.
Yeah, when you look at it, you're gonna have the fucking seizure.
Yeah,
on
I
his
can
face.
see that. Yeah,
Yeah, kind of. It's
All over
kind
the
of
place.
all over the fucking place. And then Kurt Angle would come out.
Yeah, Kurt Angle.
I could not
talks.
believe that was Kurt Angle looking at him.
Oh yeah, he's old.
That took me a minute. You guys had to tell
He's
me that was Kurt
smaller.
Angle.
Look, some of his muscle mass.
He looks fucking old now.
Yeah, well, he's pushing it.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Oh yeah. There was the Feaster fired.
Yes. Which
I don't think we saw who got fired, but I'm assuming it's
we didn't make it that
probably
far.
Grotto.
Yeah, I think it was.
The way
because
we know it wasn't. It was the Drew guy or whatever.
There was
And
Drew Galloway and Grotto were the last two.
yeah, big. One dude got up, slapped asshole's back, and then left.
Yeah, because they got the King of the Mountain
Well, we know-
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Title
So
shot.
we know they're not going to fire Beer
Money got
And we know
the
they're
tag
not going to
title.
fire Drew Galloway. So
Right.
obviously it was Grotto.
So Drew
But
Galloway got the world title shot, and then Grotto he got fired, which whatever.
That was probably going to happen anyway. He was wrestling for 5-star, doing
Granted,
side
you
promotions.
didn't actually see this, right? This is assumption.
Yeah, assumption, but I
Pretty
mean,
safe
highly
assumption.
doubt-
we're
very
only
safe
assuming
assumption.
we're assuming because one, we didn't watch it, and two, we didn't
Pretty safe
read any
assumption.
spoilers. Because really, more interesting fucking story was Adam telling us about your.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
Adam was telling us a fucking story that took us totally away from TNA and made us forget. So we have to have him recant this on air. So who is this gentleman and what does he have?
Okay, so my mother's current husband has a fucking hawk in the backyard, like a legitimate live hawk. Like he went out into the wild and caught a fucking hawk and brought it home.
No, just give our listeners an idea of how you catch a wild hawk.
All right.
You told me about this gimmick you throw out of a moving car.
Yeah. So he built this trap. It's like made out of chicken wire and fishing lure or fishing string, and you make all these little tiny like nooses out of fish string, and it's all over the shit. And then you got a dead rat in the middle of it, and you just drive out through the country. You're like, oh fuck, there's a hawk. And then you chuck this bitch out the window as you're driving.
Right.
And then you're looking through the rear mirror window like, oh yeah, okay, he got it. And then you turn around and you park the car and you go and like see if you got a hawk. Like, oh sweet, I got a hawk. Yeah.
Like in Pokemon 101.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a dead rat Pokeball to catch a hawk.
Right. Now you also said that it's quite a process. You can't. Not anybody can just do this.
You cannot legally just go out and snatch up some hawks.
Right.
There's this whole thing. You got to intern for like a year, and then the hawk people from Ohio got to come and be like, "Oh, this house is hawk safe."
So like having child saved a lot, we have to have it hawk safe.
You got to have a place to store the hawk. You got to have like a steady food supply for the hawk. Yeah. Oh, my sister's bedroom in my childhood home is now filled to the brim with cages full of live mice that are bred for the sole purpose of feeding this hawk. Yeah.
Right.
Only the best for the hawk.
Right.
Yes.
What's this hawk's name?
Oh, damn it. I can't. I think it's Gary. Gary. Fuck. It was based off. It's either Gary Busey or some guitar player. It's like Gary the Hawk. I don't know.
So Gary the Hawk.
Gary the Hawk.
All right. Okay. So your mom's husband. He goes out and he gets this fucking hawk and he goes through the process of
Oh yeah.
getting all these gimmick licenses and shit.
Oh, it's extensive as shit. Even after once you get approved, there's like various levels of license.
Right.
You got
so where he's at.
He's at the fucking base level. You got your basic ass hawk. It's a hawk. And then when you get up to the top, you can have like a fucking eagle. I mean, I'm not talking like bald eagle. That I think it's still endangered. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's other eagles. There's like the golden eagle or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But he's got the base ass license, hawk.
I don't get how there's so much to have a hawk. I mean,
It gets worse. You have to weigh the hawk every single day on a legit fucking scale. He has a hawk scale. Like, he took a regular scale and he put like there's like wood with like rope wrapped around it that the hawk can stand on with his claws.
Yeah.
And he weighs the fucker every goddamn day. He's got to weigh it before and after he feeds it.
Right.
He's weigh the hawk. What's a hawk weigh? Okay. Write it down and then you type it all into these forms and then you got to send it in once a month. Like your fucking hawk stats, you got to send it
that
into the
is a
state.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're endangered or anything either. I mean, so what? So if the hawk's out in the fucking wild,
Yeah, I don't know, red tail or something.
Yeah,
some
not
basic ass hawk. Yeah.
and like it just fucking gets shot out of the sky by somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. But when you go to actually take the hawk, take care of it, no, we got to make sure that you're okay. Only fucking A+ residency for the fucking hawk.
There's more into owning a hawk than there is to owning a firearm. Like,
yeah, really.
That sounds like it.
You know what it is? I go in to get a firearm. All I gotta pay is my fucking like money. They do a quick background check, which is just calling the ATF.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, you're clean. Here's your gun. Have a good day, sir."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, guns don't kill people. Hawks kill people.
Right. And mice apparently and small rodents.
Hawks with guns kill people.
Exactly. So, okay. So what's the daily routine? We know the weighing in, but what other daily routines are?
It's like weigh it in. I forget what he calls it, but he's got to walk it around on his arm. Well, I mean, he's
like
got
walking the dog, but walk the hawk.
Kind of. You got to get it used to like people and stuff because it's a wild fucking hawk.
And now, did you say like, will this hawk come to Gene?
Right now, he's got the hawk glove, right, and then he's got his he's got his hawk utility belt.
Fucking Hawkman Gene, I've
not
got
even
fucking
joking.
hawk pellets in here.
Yes. He's got dead mice on a string. And all kinds of shit like that.
Like,
in a hawk utility belt.
Mice in the air, like
okay, no, not in the air. No, originally when he first got the hawk, it's wild, and he's got to like earn the hawk's trust. And so for a while, the hawk is on a tether. It's on a tether tied to him. Eventually, you take the tether away. The hawk goes, and you're like, "Get me a fucking rabbit," and the hawk goes out and it kills whatever, and it's supposed to come back if it loves you or whatever. I don't know.
If you're not an asshole.
Yeah, if you're not an asshole. But if it don't come back, then you got this big ass dead rat on a string that you're supposed to throw out there, and then the hawk is like, oh shit, dead rat, bam, and it gets the rat, and then you pull it in like.
And here's the
you reel
question
it in.
now. If it's untethered and you send your hawk to go get like some prey,
Yeah.
which I would guess in suburbia, you know, like
Oh no, you take it out in the country, like farmers
okay.
and shit. Yeah,
Well,
you don't want to
here's the
catch your
thing, though.
neighbor's cats or anything.
So you send it out to go get this prey.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking hawk's obviously gonna go fly.
Yeah.
And you're standing there watching a hawk. So how are you supposed to know, like, where the hawk is if it don't come back to go throw the dead
Oh no,
mice?
you got to keep an eye on the hawk. Yeah,
okay.
That's why. Like today, example, I woke up and he was gonna take the hawk out, but being in Ohio, it's been cold as shit recently. Today it just went up to 50 degrees, and he's like, "Oh, I woke up. I'm trying to leave, take my kid to the movies." He's like, "Oh, I was gonna take my hawk out, but it's gonna be 50 degrees. We got these thermals, these fucking thermals. If a hawk hits them thermals, it's gonna be a dot in the sky. I'm never gonna see him again." So you gotta keep an eye on everything: the weather, the hawk's weight, all this jazz. Yeah.
Fucking taking care of a hawk sounds more fucking frustrating than like piloting a fucking boat. You know, like really fucking storm. Like, oh, I gotta watch this and this all the water pressure, all the, you know, like all these factors. There seems to be more fucking factors in hawk maintenance.
It's pretty deep. He is one of like 30-something people in the state of Ohio licensed legally to own a hawk.
Well, I mean that puts it into numbers, you know. Like
Yeah,
he's
it's
30.
called falconry. If anyone's interested, Google that shit. Yeah,
Now can we find Gene if we Google?
I'm sure there's a list somewhere of like hawk owners. Like there's a list of sexual predators.
They have to register.
The registered hawk.
Like they have to go door to
Hawk
door. Like,
enthusiast.
hi sir, I'm just coming here to let you
Yes.
know that I own a hawk.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
it is.
When you see me with my hawk, do not let your small children into the backyard.
Or if you have, or if
Please
you
be
pets.
aware of the dead mice.
Yeah, if you have a cat, keep it indoors.
Right.
I don't want my hawk to come fucking snatch your cat up.
So has there been any incidences with the hawk? Like, has the hawk attacked anybody or bit anybody or fucking flown away?
It hasn't attacked nobody yet.
Okay.
He had it out walking around one time, sans tether, so no tether, and he had his hawk utility belt minus some of the tools. He didn't have the rat lure, so he had it out walking around, and the hawk saw a squirrel in the neighbor's backyard, fucking flies off trying to get the squirrel. Squirrel got away, but the hawk is like perched up in this tree in the neighbor's backyard, and he's freaking out like, "Oh fuck, my hawk is gone. I lost it." But he holds up the hawk arm. And the hawk apparently loves him enough that it came back to his arm. So he has mastered this hawk.
Him and the hawk are one.
They are one.
They're one.
Yes.
So, I guess what would happen in a situation like, what if the hawk's like, I don't fucking love you anymore and leaves? Like,
And then it's just gone. And you got to report back to the state like, my hawk ran away.
so you gotta write like a fucking Dear John letter to
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the hawk licensing board.
Yeah,
Like,
hawk.
the
You got
hawk
to tell him
ran
like,
away.
my hawk ran away. He didn't love me enough.
Like, can you get a new one, or are they gonna make you go through the whole shit?
Oh no,
again?
you can once you're licensed, you're good.
Yeah.
As long as you keep up on it. If you fuck up on the paperwork, they're gonna hit you and take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you let it lapse for so long, then they take it away.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so that was way more interesting than TNA. Let's just put it that way. It really was. He told us that. I don't even know how it came about, but we got so enthralled with that fucking story. I'm like, dude, we have to tell this on air because fuck this show. It's god awful. No one cares, but people will give a shit about fucking raising a hawk.
Yes.
Gary the Hawk.
Gary the Hawk, exactly. So just remember out there, if your hawk loves you, he will come back to your glove. Just remember.
Right,
that.
yeah, if he loves you, let him go. Or if you love him, let him go.
Right. And see if he comes back with like
Yeah.
a small animal.
Comes back with a dead rabbit.
Right.
What's Gene gonna get his hawk for Valentine's Day?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Maybe some chocolate covered mice.
He's got enough mice, he could do it, yeah.
Oh god.
I woke up this morning to rinse out the cup I'd used the night prior, and I had to move a small bowl full of dead mice that were being thawed out in the sink.
So is there like dead mice in like the freezer and shit?
He has a separate freezer full of dead mice.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't want to like walk.
Yeah.
Like it'd be fucking scary shit. You walk in there like, oh, I'm gonna eat some French fries, and it's like, oh goddamn, there's a fucking block of frozen mice. Fuck the French
Yeah.
fries. I don't want them anymore.
He has more than enough mice. He has enough mice that he could start his own fucking hawk, like, food chain to like a fucking Hawk McDonald's, like
Hawk McDonald's.
Hockey.
Hawk Donald's, yeah.
Hawk Donald's.
Oh my god.
Deep fried mice, chocolate covered mice.
Although, my sister and I kind of worry about him. We're worried we're gonna come visit my mother one day, and we're gonna find Gene dead in the hawk pen behind the house, like being fed upon by the hawk.
Fucking picking his eyeball out, like
Right, and the dogs are still tied up on the leash, and they're all pissed off. Yeah.
Right, because they can't get this fucking hawk.
Yeah,
It's like
because they're on the leash. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Christ. Oh god.
No, my mom's gonna be crying. No,
I knew this hawk was a bad idea. Like she's chasing down the fucking hawk,
oh man.
but he won't go away.
Well, no, dude, your mom will be in bad with the fucking hawk feds because if she hurts the hawk,
No, we just say it ran away. We'll eat it, but we'll just say it ran away.
Right.
Like my sister and I, we'll kill it and eat it, but
That works.
we'll just we'll tell them it ran away.
Right. Oh, he flew away.
Yeah, it ran away.
blood
And
tested positive for
for hawk attacks.
cannibalism.
Yeah.
We tested your feces.
Couldn't help but find hawk beak in your shit.
You had hawk protein in your feces. Yeah.
Right. Like, when did you check that? We had
Awful lot
ways.
of feathers back here.
Right. It's an awful lot of feathers, man.
Oh God. Never mind. I'm gonna stop on Gene's stories. It gets worse. The coyote. Did I tell you the coyote story?
Fuck it.
Okay.
Well, why not?
All right. He's big into Indians, right? Like Native Americans, and he really, really wanted a coyote skull, like to sit on the mantle. Fucking coyote skull. So he took it upon himself to go out into the country looking for dead coyotes. He found 2 dead coyotes by a railroad track someone had shot. So he's like, fuck yeah. Stops his truck, gets out, busts out his bow saw, and he saws off these coyotes' heads. This is years ago, mind you. Like 8 years ago. All right. He sawed off these coyote heads, brought them home to my mom's house. He tries to scrape all the meat and flesh and stuff.
Oh, God.
Tried to do it himself. Not so great. He's like, all right, fuck it. And he got these big totes full of soapy water. He's like, that'll take care of it. And he puts them into soapy water totes and left it in the garage behind my mom's house.
All right.
Stunk up the whole fucking neighborhood. It was bad. Oh, just death across the whole neighborhood.
Right.
Eventually, he gave up and paid some guy to clean the skulls. Now he's got 2 coyote skulls that he sawed off with a bow saw.
I mean, this would be my thinking, and I'm not even a coyote master like Gene. But wouldn't you just... I mean, I get the bone saw to the head to get the head off.
Right, it kind of makes
Wouldn't you
sense.
just, like, throw lighter fluid on that bitch and just fucking burn the head? 'Cause,
Right.
I mean, the skull would still be alright, wouldn't it? Just fucking burn the
well,
fucking...
it would be charred a little bit.
Depending on the intensity of the flame, yeah. That I was saying, I told his ass to bury it in a fucking anthill.
Yeah, or bury it, dig it up later.
Yeah, you know, I mean, find a fucking anthill. Boom, there's the dead coyote skull. They're going to eat all the meat off of
Yeah.
it.
Well, fuck if you're trying to get the meat, just use a goddamn shop vac. Get all the big shit out of there.
Well, he
and
was-
then just scrape off the little
He was using, like, knives and
Oh, my God.
spoons and...
I just imagine him fucking spooning the fucking coyote eyeball out.
dude.
Brain.
Eyeballs,
brains,
brains,
like,
all the face meat.
Oh, man.
It was bad.
oh, God.
I just...
Granted-
the fact that he sat there and did this, like...
I didn't live there at the time, so I didn't get to witness it. But, yeah.
So now we
Wow.
know. So next time I go to your house, I see the 2 fucking coyote skulls. I'm gonna.
I believe the coyote skulls are prominently displayed upstairs in the mouse room.
Oh, the mouse room.
Yeah, in the mouse room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going in there. So that's. Anyways, whew. All right. So yes, that was way more than watching Impact. So trust me. If you want to watch Impact, just put this on loop of the story of the
Like, while you watch it, just
While you watch
play
it?
this in the background?
yeah, because at least you can watch that and not
Judge which is better.
Yeah, and judge which is better, the hawk and coyote story that you were just told, or Impact that was on for 2 hours. All right, I mean that story we got 2 stories for probably about 15, 20 minutes maybe, and
Oh, Lord.
then we had Impact that went on for way too fucking
Yeah,
long.
it always does.
But
But I guess jumping into good product,
Exactly, I was coming around to that.
our main topic,
Yes.
Oh, shit. You talking about Lucha?
Lucha
Yes, we are.
fucking Underground.
Yes.
So
Joe and I have been waiting for Lucha Underground.
yes, I have held out. It came out Wednesday. I was holding out so hard, like Lucha Underground's Facebook page and Twitter, and everybody
Yes.
else was posting and reposting. It was so hard not to click on the video clips they're showing,
Yep.
and the photos. I'm just like, I gotta scroll past this bitch. I just kept fucking going. Finally watched it today, and fucking phenomenal. So
And it's crazy. We had this conversation too about everything that they got in an hour. Was like better build up and left you wanting more than like a month's worth of Raw.
absolutely, because
Like they barely got in any segments. We basically saw Mil Muertes on his big death throne now.
Like 3 fights, 4 fights.
we got 3 matches.
Yeah, there were 3 matches
altogether. Yeah.
We had a couple little like outrage segments.
Yeah.
But yeah, started off. We saw that we did a little skit with Vampiro.
Right, he was in a psych ward.
Yeah, talking about if he was
the
okay.
intro. Yeah.
They gave him some pills, and in his head, he imagined him taking on everybody in the psych ward, beating them up.
Murdered the therapist.
But then it kind of cuts back to what really is going on, and they release him.
Yep.
And Matt Striker picks him up, and like a
badass
6'4",
car. Yeah.
And they drive off.
Yep.
And he says that it's a very different temple now. Basically,
Darker.
Darker temple now. We cut to was it Katrina's office?
Yes.
Yeah.
We gotta it's still Dario Cueto's office in my
is.
mind, damn it. The bitch just hold it there.
She put all her gimmicks in there now.
She
so.
got
It looks like a palm reading place.
It
like
does
you're
look
gonna
like
go in there like I'm gonna get my fortune.
There's
told.
like fucking candles with like the skull with the candle in it, and like crystals and fucking crystal balls and shit. And
so when she's in there playing with her crystal, and in comes Phoenix,
Yes.
and at the moment was the as I say was because we're about to spoil it.
yes.
Spoiler
was the
alert.
Spoiler alert.
Gift of the Gods champion.
Yep.
So she tells him that he's going to have a match with King Cuerno and to get ready. We cut to our first match. King Cuerno
That was the
versus
guy's name?
Phoenix.
I don't remember his name. I watched the fight. I didn't remember.
King
his name.
Cuerno was the guy who did the bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, bow guy.
He walks
It
out
came
with
out
big
with
deer
deer
antlers.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deer antlers.
So that was first match, and this was an awesome match.
Yes.
This was a very good match to start things off.
Dude, they were all awesome.
Yeah, well, it always is. Lucha, I feel, gives you biggest bang for your buck.
Oh yeah. For as short of a time span it is. For
Yeah.
like
everything
if you want pure if you want pure entertainment, I totally agree.
But so awesome match ended up. No, what was it? We saw like a new move from King Cuerno. It was kind of like a cradled pile driver, kind of in a sense of how Kevin Owens uses. But
It was like
the legs
It was like
were underhooked under the
It was like a
arms.
packaged tombstone.
Yeah,
pile
packaged
driver.
tombstone pile driver.
Yeah,
But with a spin on it.
right.
He kind of like half spins it.
Yep.
So like a 180 or something.
Yes.
And so did that, and that was cool. A little bit of a botch on the covering, but it was just
Oh,
enough
at
to
the very
match to
end.
where
Right.
you didn't
Yeah.
really give a shit.
Yeah.
But King Cuerno
That was
won
all on the
Triple
ref too.
Champion.
That wasn't even
Yeah.
the fighters. That was the ref.
Yep. The ref basically what happened was he hits the move, and
He started
it
counting
looks
before he was even down.
King Cuerno was just trying to get up, so the ref counted 1. Then King Cuerno kind of gets up and then goes for the pin, and the ref counts 2 and 3, and then the match was over. So they kind of, it was like blatant, and they didn't even re-edit it. I thought that was maybe kind of lazy, but really fucking nitpicking. I mean, it's kind of with
It's
Lucha.
hard to
With
complain.
Lucha, you really have to like nitpick. The camera lighting in this scene was just. It
There's
would have been
everything.
better if it was off to the right. I mean, you
Great
really
camera work.
Right?
Yeah.
He normally hangs left. Why isn't he not?
right.
And then so I was trying to think. So Cuerno wins.
Something like that.
Gets the Gift of the Gods championship.
Yes.
Now, did we cut? Was there another promo then, or did we cut into the? Oh, that's what it was.
shit.
It was the former trios tag champs,
Yes.
in a scene with Katrina, and she informs them that they're going to be in a match against
I think I was smoking for that.
against each other, and the winner is to take #1 contender spot for the basically the big gold.
Yeah,
For the Aztec
the
gold.
fight against
Mil Muertes.
Muertes. You called him.
Shao Kahn.
Yes.
Yeah, Mexican Shao Kahn.
And no, this is a gimmick, which we were trying to think what they got rid of, and Joe was quick because I didn't notice it at first. But they did get rid of the bands for Lucha, and they replaced that area now with basically Mil Muertes' big, cool hangout spot.
They used to have a band.
You used
Yeah,
to
they
have
used
like
to have a live band.
Yeah.
Usually it was like Lost Ryback.
I was gonna say, what
Yes.
kind of band? Like a mariachi band? Or-
Kinda like a- yeah.
Mexican, like
Not
this
like
is-
total mariachi, like big hats and shit, but
Yeah.
kind of like a blend between mariachi and rock.
This is the first Lucha I've watched, and I really, it made me want to go back and watch the first season. This was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially like, I know you're telling me that Shao Kahn is new, but that whole thing, it looks so fucking cool.
No, it is really cool.
It is.
But so they replaced him, and Matt Striker called it what do you say, like Death Olympus or
Dark Olympus.
Olympus.
Yes.
He's sitting there like fucking Shao Kahn watching you like,
he literally,
flawless victory.
Yeah.
He fucking gives you a thumbs up.
That's what it looked like to you when you watch this. It's like he's got two columns.
So rad.
He has like a
Skulls
throne.
and shit.
There's like some green lighting on him to make him look like ominous.
Yeah.
And he just kind of overwatches.
The way the lighting
everything
plays
in
off his
purple.
mask with the fucking purple in the dark. And like, man. So awesome.
They did a good job with
Now
that.
his bitch,
Katrina,
I could take a
Katrina.
leave. I could take a leave her.
Yeah.
But he is awesome.
She's just kind of around. Yeah, she's part of his little gimmick.
She seems like some kind of fluff that they threw in. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
she's
well,
really
here's the
she's
magic
the
bitch.
power behind the throne is kind of what they're getting at. Kind of from the first when you watch the first season, you'll kind of get it.
I got you.
But
From my point of view, she seems like, but he's like, fuck yeah, that dude's fucking rad.
Yeah, he's awesome.
oh yeah.
So then we cut to we had another promo with King Cuerno in the locker room with Katrina, and it was hard to take this one seriously only because when I watched King Cuerno in the ring, his gimmick. It's like it's one of those weird gimmicks. He's got like all the the antlers on, like he's a hunter. Let me wear the deer
it's like,
head.
Yeah, he's got like a crown of deer heads.
But then like when they showed him in his like what would be his street clothes, he was still wearing his mask, but he had on
Well,
like
he's a lucha. He's got to.
well he had on like one of those like
he was in Western attire.
weird Western shirts that looked like what Marty McFly wore for like Back to the Future 3.
so like a puffy vest.
And like a long sleeve, like with a task, like kind of like has like the triangle,
and a cowboy hat, and
a
shit.
cowboy hat on.
What the
So it was
I
just
missed all
kind of
this.
funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I'd ever really heard King Cuerno speak, so I didn't know he spoke English.
I didn't either.
Not when
So that was new to me.
When luchadors speak in general, it kind of throws me off. From my limited experience with luchador wrestling, they don't seem like the type to speak.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
I know there's
they do most of their talking with their bodies,
Right.
Like their movements and
Yeah.
their expressions.
because it's kind of part of their mystique. Like, why are you fucking talking? You're not supposed to.
Yeah, when they talk, it kind of throws me off. Like, I didn't want to
I
hear
can
that.
see that. It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me too much.
It
But as long as they leave
bothers
the
shit out of
mask
me.
on. Like, I know when I was a kid, that's what bothered me a lot about Rey Mysterio losing his mask. The allure was gone. And it was like when he joined up with the Filthy Animals, which, kind of going off subject, but it's still time. We're still waiting for Rey Mysterio on Lucha.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Is he coming to
He
Lucha?
is.
He will be coming.
Oh snap! Oh man,
but
I
yeah,
gotta
like-
get into this.
When he took the mask on, it was just like all that, like, it sucked the fun out of it. Like, I don't know, he just wasn't the same. I mean, it was
Right.
still him, but just it felt like somebody else.
Right.
And,
Well, it didn't help. He looked like he was fucking 14 years old.
That too, yeah, that was.
It's like, dude,
These
you
were-
look like a baby. Why are you wrestling? What the
these were
hell?
dark times for
Because he's
WCW.
protected his face that whole time with
Where-
a mask.
Exactly. Like when he
Straws
wore the
were
mask,
being- Straws were being, drawn. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was rough.
Right. Well, it was at that time, and that was an Eric Bischoff idea. So I can't just say like Ray was like, oh yeah, I'll totally take off my mask, because obviously he comes from that background where it's like you don't fucking take off your mask unless it's like really big. But Bischoff basically said, you'll make more money if you take off the mask. He didn't make any fucking more money. He probably made less.
We're talking about Junior.
Yes,
Yeah,
Rey
Mysterio
Mysterio
Jr.
Jr. Yes. So
So the 619, the cruiserweight sensation from
Dude,
WCW.
what killed that Mexican guy?
yes, he did do that.
Yeah.
He did do that.
And then so we had that segment where so basically Katrina back to King Cuerno.
Yep.
So she's like, oh, congrats on your win. Basically kind of threatens him. And then just disappears on him. So that was just a little quick segment.
I like the foreshadowing in the beginning where that Phoenix dude came to her like, I want to fight fucking Shao Kahn. And she's like, oh, you can fight him next week.
Yeah.
Implying that, oh, okay, you're fucked. And then she set him up to fucking fail by fighting what's-his-nuts right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was complete foreshadowing. That
Phoenix
that
always
first
rises
little
from the
thing in her
ashes,
office. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's Phoenix. But
Yeah.
it was complete foreshadowing. That initial thing, Phoenix came in and said, I want the fucking shot. And she's like, I'll give you a shot next week.
But this
If
week
you still have the fucking whatever
Belt.
of the gods,
Yeah.
the super belt that has like the Power Ranger coins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Gift of God's Will. And
Yeah, that
speaking
one,
of
yes.
Phoenix, I wanted to mention too, and I think Joe was with. I don't think it was King Cuerno. I want to say it was Mil Muertes. They had a match. Remember when Phoenix got like a lot of his mask ripped off?
I think it was
Like
Phoenix,
yeah,
yeah.
but that was a brutal fucking
Wait, did you say
match.
like portions of it?
Oh, yeah. Like
they
you
didn't
could pretty much
completely
see
rip
his
it off, but
face,
like
except for maybe like a
they
small
opened it
part.
up to where it was like ripped up, so they
Yeah.
could show like just damage because he was beat
bleeding
the fuck
like
up.
a motherfucker. Yeah.
His match is crazy anyway. He's got like those fins and shit on it.
Yeah.
And well,
I don't know how
I'll
he
get
takes
into it here in
slams
a
with his
minute.
fins.
But speaking of other matches,
They're like styrofoam. I don't know.
there was another match too, which we'll get into Puma.
Oh man,
Will Muertes and Prince Puma during season 1 of Lucha, which you'll have to check out.
I gotta watch this.
And which we discussed was one of my favorite matches of last year, was the casket match between Will Muertes and Prince Puma.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This dude basically powerbombed this. Will Muertes powerbombed Prince Puma through a fucking casket. These motherfuckers dove into the casket. Like, it was the action.
So this is like some old school WWF.
It was like,
Right.
it was
They're not
intense.
afraid to be brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a very
it's-
physical matchup. It was totally one of my favorite matches that I would take from last year. It still stands out. So I haven't seen anything. You know, it's definitely top like 1 or 2 matches for me. You have to YouTube it.
Yep.
And anybody who hasn't
Was this
seen
like late in the season?
mid to late? Yeah.
Yeah. Because it kind of started. Because was that the first? Yeah, that was the only time. Because that's
I know
Because
you
they were
said
feuding towards the middle end.
right.
Puma
yeah.
was the champion, and then
Yeah.
Shao Kahn took over.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly. So.
And also, if you remember Conan from WCW, the Liberalasa, you know, like that gimmick, you know, like he would rap. He'd have like rap videos on WCW. He was in the NWO Wolfpack.
Yeah. If you see him, you might be like, oh, okay, I can't remember. Maybe.
He's a manager for Prince Puma. Well, at least
in
was.
the first season. Yeah.
Yeah, the second season we don't know if we're gonna see him because he wasn't out
Yeah.
tonight. So anyway, we had the trios. They fought against each other. We had
Yes.
Son of Havoc, Angelico, and Ivelisse.
Yes.
That was a pretty good match.
Yeah.
Definitely solid. They gave Ivelisse the win,
Right.
and then
we go to a segment.
yes,
which was
the Asian chick. I don't remember her name because we haven't seen a whole lot. Anything in ring of her, it's always been like promos.
Right.
But we see the Asian chick, these 3 white guys that look just like douchebags roll up looking for a fight club.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So then they're like, oh,
They're in
we're
a
here, it's
car.
called
Yeah,
the
they roll
Temple.
up in a car.
Yeah.
375
some
miles.
Exactly.
From the temple
Yeah.
location.
Yes.
Take note.
Yeah.
This is good. There's something brewing with this, and it's bugging me. Like, what is 375 miles away from Boyle Heights, where the temple is?
And then so we get the so we cut out of that promo into we had the Ivelisse match after Ivelisse won between the 3 of them. We get Will Muertes comes down from fucking Mount Olympus of Death, whatever you want to call it. Comes off his throne, comes down to fight Ivelisse. And now the little the Death Putty guys come out too. And they kind of make short work of Son of Havoc and Angelico just to basically clear them out.
You killed me with that.
Fucking,
So
yeah.
Ivelisse did
Fucking
okay.
Paul
Yeah, Ivelisse did okay for herself. We thought it was basically just going to be a quick push over, you know,
Right.
like power bomb, you're done. But she got in like some submission.
She did really well.
holders.
She hurt his wrist.
She hurt his wrist.
Yep.
And
Got him in a
so-
triangle DDT.
Oh,
or
yeah,
Not DDT, but
no, it was,
triangle choke.
Almost triangle. It was fuck, like ultra triangle or
Something like it. Yeah.
fuck. It was a variant of the triangle choke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the arm is through the legs instead of just straight neck.
Yep.
And so Will Muertes obviously ends up taking the win. So retains his championship, obviously. But as he's about to kind of put more of a move on her, just like destroy her in the ring.
Bitchface came in to do the lick.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she comes in to do the lick. Ivelisse ends up getting rescued by.
Well,
Prince
no,
Puma.
she went to do the lick, and then she was like, "No, I'm not gonna lick you. Shao Kahn, come here, fuck this bitch up."
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So I forgot the.
No, you're good. And
okay.
then he picked her up to like chokeslam the fuck out of her or something.
There we go.
I don't know.
That when
He
Prince
never did
Puma
nothing.
came in?
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
he had her up in the air like, I'm gonna fucking
Right.
kill you. Yeah.
So enter Prince Puma to the rescue.
Oh, dude, he came in like furious.
Yeah, came in, grabs Ivelisse real quick,
Like
rolls her out of the ring.
some super ninja moves too. It was impressive.
Will Muertes is basically looking at Prince Puma. They have a moment where they're looking at each other. He's getting Ivelisse out of there.
As they're looking at
As they're looking at each other, behind Will Muertes, my boy, Pentagon Jr. Behind Will Muertes, gives him the knee to the back drop, basically what the thing that fucking Del Rio does, and
Backstab.
Yeah. So he gives him a backstabber. Then proceeds to do the arm break on Will Muertes.
Yep. Breaks his fucking
Successfully.
So, yeah, successfully. So, as far as that gimmick goes, and even though we didn't really get to see a lot of Muertes off in pain or anything, or being carted away. He is more Muertes.
He thrashed around and stumbled out the ring holding his arm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it obviously did something to it. So, we don't know if it's broken or if it's just hurt, but you'd have to go with broken almost because you had...
That's what it is. That's his whole gimmick.
Yeah.
Every time he's done it, he's broken their fucking arms,
So, and that was cool. So, we got Pentagon Jr. back.
Oh! During the match, Mortes, fucking Shao Kahn, did the thing where coming at him and they did the little flippity flop and he ended up slamming Bitchface.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did Spear Katrina.
Yes, he did.
So she ate a move. Yep. But I'm sure that won't...
Oh, even at the end of the match, when he won, she came out, like, holding her head, like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm sure that won't, hurt their, friendship thing that they got going on.
Right.
Although it could maybe later in the season be a downfall.
If it comes up, like, they're bickering or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because obviously something's going to have to give there with that whole crystal control from Muerte's Tower of Darkness.
Right, yeah. She like, Rita Revolsa to his...
Yeah, kind of Lord Zed or whatever. Yeah. And so anyway...
Repulsa,
we cut out of that, and that was basically the end of the matches, and we closed with going back to the Asian chick segment with the 3 white guys pulling up a building.
In the middle of nowhere,
there we see one of our favorite characters, Dario Cueto.
Yes.
So they're at this gate. They're like, oh, we're looking for a fight club. Dario Cueto, as you see, still has the key around his neck.
Yep.
And he says, well, you've come to the right place or whatever. And he's like, but $20. So they cough up $20. And he basically feeds them, I'm guessing, to his older brother.
Right.
And he says, you are in a
I wasn't
fight.
tracking all that.
Yeah. You don't know in the first season.
In the first season, they allude to that it's his brother in this cage. Right. And you never see him. But, he's a monster type gimmick. And he beats
all I saw was
kills people.
They paid him $60, went in, and they're like, hey, who's fighting? And he's like, you. And then closes the door, and then you hear them screaming.
Yep.
So, brother takes short work of them. So, we definitely know that we're going to see Dario's brother eventually has to come into play, which I'm guessing will probably help work into Dario getting back control of Lucha somehow, some way, shape, form.
Correct.
With the Homo Muertes thing. Was that?
He shakes on.
Shane Sung.
He shakes on. He's Fat Goro.
So, definitely interesting. So all that was set up in an hour, and we were basically left wanting more.
Yes. Well, it set up a lot of things for kind of at least long term as of now. Okay, so you have the brother angle. You have that. You have during when Pentagon Jr. came out, they kept kind of showing these close-ups back to Vampiro.
Vampiro, yep.
So there's going to be something with that. Then of course you have Prince Puma, and then you have Pentagon Jr. breaking. We assume breaking Mil Muertes. Yeah, exactly. Mil Muertes' arm. So there's something with that. Then there's going to probably be something between Katrina and Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of everything's wide open still, and it's all wanting where is it going to go, and you just have to fucking guess. So
this is season 2.
This is season 2. Yes.
Shao Kahn's in charge.
Yes.
Season 1. The guy in charge was
Dario
Cueto, yes.
Who I just equated to Shang Tsung.
Yes.
We'll come out 1, we'll come out 2. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. But that was basically it. So we still have
I don't know.
We still
Jax didn't come in until 2, so he's not introduced yet.
All right.
He didn't come in till 2.
Right. So we'll have to wait and see who Jax.
My guess is
there a black guy? Is there a black guy in Lucha?
There's Mac. There's the Mac.
Is there a black guy who is friends with a white female?
No,
not so much.
Okay.
No.
Look for it.
I don't think there's any white females in Lucha.
Is there a white female?
No.
Not that I know of.
I don't
all
think there is.
Hispanic.
Yeah, they're all Hispanic. Even Sexy Star is blonde and blue-eyed. She's Mexican too. Yeah.
They go for real talent.
They do, exactly.
Yeah, Sonya was a bitch.
My guess is what we'll see in later episodes. I mean, we still have yet to see from Cage, who is
Did you say player. Cage?
There's a big guy. Cage the Machine. He's a big bulky guy. He's a powerhouse.
Does he wear sunglasses?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Johnny Mundo wears sunglasses.
Johnny
Mundo. So we'll see Johnny Mundo too. Another big player.
Okay, I guess Drago could be kind of
Liu Kang.
Could be. I was thinking Reptile.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean,
easily turn us into
he is
Mortal
playing
Kombat.
a goddamn dragon. So
Oh no. Oh god.
Johnny Mundo would probably be the closest thing to Johnny Cage. Movie star, like full of himself.
yeah,
Johnny Mundo.
I would say that. Yes.
I'm not trying to diminish
Arrow
Lucha.
Star would
I
be
really
like-
want to see the first season.
It's just there is a lot of parallels now that you brought it up.
All the masked guys are basically your fucking hooded ninjas, like Rain.
Oh, there's a million
Scorpion,
hooded ninjas,
Sub-Zero,
Right.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ermac.
Ermac.
Everybody forgets about Ermac.
Noob Sabat. Noob Sabat would be like
Oh, dude,
Pentagon
Noob
Jr.
is the shit.
Or Pentagon Jr. would be like Scorpion. Scorpion or Noob Sabat, I think. He'd be like one of those two.
I can see that.
Prince Puma. I don't even need to be.
I don't know who Prince Puma would be.
Prince Puma was what, like superhero guy?
Yeah,
He
he's
Liu
close
Kang?
to like a Liu Kang.
could be Liu
feel,
Kang,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about Kung Lao?
I don't know.
Descendant.
Kung Lao would be like
okay.
Aerostar or something like that. Some guy that's kind of there.
Yeah, he's just filler.
But yeah, excited for some lucha though. Started
looked
off
awesome,
great. Yeah, it's good shit. So we have to wait till Wednesday, which we'll probably end up waiting till Saturday again, so that way we
Right.
can hang out, watch together. Unless we just can't wait till then, and we're like, hey, I'm watching lucha.
Now, Lucha, is that a weekly event?
Yes, every Wednesday on the Rey Network. If you don't have Rey Network, you can
don't.
catch Lucha on Sling TV
Ooh.
or usually on the internet. If you're friends with them on Facebook, they tend to post a lot of their matches in full
Nice.
or previews of. You can probably even YouTube matches, I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's
they-
pretty easy to find from what I've seen. Like, they're not picky about hiding their shit, like if you don't have
Right. Trying to
access
build that
their
fan
channel.
base.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's out there to watch it. Even if you can't watch it as a whole, you can at least see snippets
Enjoy
until you're smart
portions,
enough to invest in some way, shape, or form in the Rey Network, which is probably one of my favorite channels by far.
Fuck yeah, I agree. That's why that was pretty much the sole reason why I wanted to get Sling. But then they kept dicking around, like, "Oh, hey, you got to call us to like activate." Like every
Call?
time, I'm like, "I'm not calling anybody.
What?
It's all online." Let me
This is in the
Yeah.
age of the internet. Why
Yeah,
the
why don't-
fuck would you call anybody?
right, and then they have a
give you a-
chat. So I'm like, "I'll chat." Oh no, you have to call. Why? I'm talking to customer
Oh my
service
God.
via
I don't
chat.
get
What the fuck?
I don't get why
So-
you can't just give your credit card number, make
Right?
your payment.
They got your
sign
money.
up. Yeah.
Hook me up.
Exactly. That's all I fucking wanted. Just to be able to watch the shit. But no, they got to dick around. So.
Wow.
Maybe El Rey will come out with like their own app. I'd be totally fine with that.
Right.
Even if they charge like a subscription fee, I would pay like $9.99 a month for it.
El Rey streaming thing.
Fuck yeah, like
Yeah.
$9.99 a month. Okay, I'll pay it.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah.
I pay that for the network, and
Damn.
you know, shit. What the hell's one more subscription I had to
Definitely.
fucking to the collection? You know,
Oh, man,
shit.
yeah, I gotta cancel my Amazon.
Yeah, I got a lot. Yeah, so it's amazing. They
I'm
out.
trying to think if there was anything else going into like wrestling or is there anything we want to discuss?
I think those were kind of the big ones.
Yeah.
Really, I mean,
Basically waiting for Fastlane, which we got a ways to go.
we do, and it's right now. It's just gonna be really early to tell. Like everybody can kind of predict, like, oh, it's gonna happen to this. It's too early to tell what's gonna happen as far as storylines go for Fastlane and then into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I'd give it a couple more weeks, and then you'll kind of have a better picture. I mean, obviously, you'll definitely have a better picture for Fastlane, but you'll have a better picture of how WrestleMania is gonna work
I
out.
have a feeling that as far as Fastlane goes, I think we might see Jericho and AJ Styles a little more playing into, because I think they're gonna save Owens and Styles for like WrestleMania, because obviously there's something there. I'd like it to see him do something different than Dean Ambrose, other than the fact like, oh well, you just lost. We just set this matchup for WrestleMania for Triple H and
Right.
Reigns. I don't think they'll have Ambrose wrestle Lesnar.
No, I don't.
fucking
I don't
Lesnar.
think so.
And they're talking about wanting to do. Oh,
Did they actually do the fight between the two brothers? We just didn't watch it.
which? Oh,
Seizure Face and Normal Guy.
wait. Which one's Seizure Face?
Oh, Jeff Hardy and Matt
Hardy
Oh,
brothers.
we're going back to
yeah,
TNA. They did, and then I think we left and
We didn't
got
watch
wings.
it. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
like,
We're like
we're
wings.
getting wings. Yeah.
Yeah, wings were more important. So
This is after the Hawk story when
After-
we didn't.
So we don't know who won.
no. Again, it's TNA. We'll just read the results and be like,
I'd
yeah, that's what I
imagine-
thought. It's disappointing.
I'd imagine Matt Hardy for the simple fact that he's got Tyrus.
Yes.
He's the champ, and unless they had EC3 come out during that match, I don't see Jeff Hardy
What,
had done.
was
anything.
that for any type of title, or was it just,
I
hey,
think
they're
it was
brothers?
just- yeah.
No, it was. I want to say it was for the world title.
Was it? I know Jeff
I
Hardy's
believe
been
one of
wanting
them
a
was
title
a
shot.
champion. Yeah.
But Matt was.
Okay.
But I think the match itself was for the title.
Was Matt Caesar face?
No, that's Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Jeff was Caesar face. So, all right.
I'm sorry.
No, that works.
Yeah, that's about all I can really think of. I mean, we did watch. There wasn't really anything much going on Ring of Honor. I mean, we watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's always good stuff. They did their re-signings.
Yep.
But yeah, they were just kind of waiting for more Lucha and waiting for WrestleMania to get here.
Yeah. Now, in a particular way that you're aware of to legally watch the first season of Lucha.
Well,
because I'm going to watch it regardless of legality. But
if you have Time Warner Cable,
yeah,
as I do.
On demand. You can go
the entire first season.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
Nice.
I believe the full first season is on there, and I know that just last week they were running
they've been doing
marathons
like a motherfucker.
of Lucha, so they've been pushing the Lucha product pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I think, which it's worthy of, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that it's getting the steam. Like, I know they were just on Sports
Yeah,
Center, which I didn't watch the segment.
I've seen it advertised on social media.
Yeah.
And I'm not a wrestling guy, and it shows up on my feed.
Yeah.
So,
It's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting some following.
It's great product. Highly advise anybody to watch it if you haven't already. If you haven't, I don't understand why. But
I'm down. I'm
definitely, good shit.
So
I want to see Shao Kahn's rise.
Yes.
We'll find out next week, I guess.
Yeah, so and I guess that's probably about wraps us up. I know our normal host Ed Cornelison, he's probably pitching a bitch because we didn't call him for a gimmick to call in. Yeah. But we really didn't have a whole lot going on, and he didn't invite us to Florida.
Right?
Even though he says he
What
did.
the fuck,
He
Ed?
says I don't
he did.
recall it.
Exactly. So
And that asshole's down there enjoying
I'm unemployed,
60-degree
Ed.
weather.
Come on.
Exactly. So,
Also, Ed, I enjoy bourbon steak. He'll know what that means. So go ahead.
Okay.
there you go. There you go. So, all right. So, if you want to get a hold of us, you know the normal channels. You can go ahead and check us out on Twitter at PIW Show. You can also email us if you want to send some hate mail or some love mail or nudes or whatever.
Feed me your hate.
Yeah, give us anything you want to have us go over on air, or any questions for us, or if we're not covering some topics of stuff that you want to hear.
Exactly.
We'll always value your opinions and
Or
we'll
if
take into consideration.
Or if you're one of those people that have to fact check and it gives you validation, that works too. So politically incorrect wrestling at gmail.com, you can reach us there. So for myself, for Paul Michael, and for our friend Adam, so long and have a good one.